The current live price for BigBear.ai stock is $4.28, representing an intraday climb of 1.91% as trading volume surges during this Thursday morning session. While most investors were looking for a simple bounce back from last month's lows, the reality is that we are seeing a massive fundamental shift in how the market values defense-focused intelligence. The common belief is that this is just another small-cap tech play riding the coattails of larger industry giants, but the deeper look suggests something far more calculated. Institutional activity is picking up, and while the retail crowd is distracted by the latest headlines on the big indices, the smart players are quietly positioning themselves in firms that provide the actual plumbing for national security. This isn't about hype or social media trends, it's about a backlog that just cleared $60 million in new government contracts. When expectations meet the reality of government-backed revenue, the volatility we've seen lately starts to look less like a risk and more like a massive mispricing by the broader market. If you are navigating the current landscape, whether through SoFi Invest or checking your individual brokerage on the Fidelity mobile app, the movement in BigBear.ai today demands your attention. The stock has been trading in a tight range between $4.15 and $4.34, but the momentum is clearly skewing toward the bulls. We are seeing a significant amount of self-investing activity, where traders are moving away from speculative growth and toward companies with tangible defense moats. For those using the Interactive Brokers platform, the technical indicators are flashing a potential breakout above the 50-day moving average. It's the classic tension we talk about. The market expects a slow burn, but the reality of these recent contract wins is forcing a rapid reevaluation. People using investing sites to track the broader AI sector often overlook the niche applications that BigBear.ai dominates. This isn't just another software company, it's a critical component of the modern battlefield and supply chain. We have to talk about the institutional footprint here. Recently, we've seen major players like Vanguard increasing their stakes, which is a huge signal for anyone looking for investment help or trying to build a resilient portfolio. If you are managing your own wealth through Schwab Intelligent Portfolios or similar intelligent portfolio tools, you know that diversification into high-growth intelligent sectors is often the key to outperforming a flat market. The reality is that BigBear.ai is no longer just a speculative bet. With their first quarter 2026 results showing a revenue beat and an affirmed guidance for the year, the expectation that they would run out of cash has been thoroughly debunked. Instead, we are looking at a company that is leaner, more focused, and deeply embedded with the Department of Defense. This is the kind of situation where online investing becomes truly rewarding, when you can see the fundamental improvement before it's fully reflected in the daily price action on your Robinhood app or Fidelity trading platform. Let's get into the weeds of the business model, because that's where the real edge lies. BigBear.ai isn't out there trying to build the next consumer chatbot. They are building decision intelligence for the edge, places where data is messy, disconnected, and vital for survival. Their work with the U.S. Army on global force information management is a perfect example. They are taking legacy systems and turning them into a unified, automated intelligence layer. While the average person might see a ticker like BBAI on their Robinhood stock trading screen and think it's just another tech stock, the reality is that they are becoming the operating system for government logistics. This is a massive competitive advantage. When you look at their recent partnership with the New England Patriots or their work in digital identity for global trade, you see a company that is successfully diversifying its revenue streams while keeping its core mission at the center. Comment below how many shares of BigBear.ai you currently hold, or if you're waiting for a specific price target to jump in. The institutional side of this trade is where things get really interesting. When you see major moves in the Fidelity brokerage or Interactive Brokers fee structures being adjusted for high-volume traders, it usually precedes a major move in these mid-cap names. BigBear.ai is currently a favorite for those who engage in active investing because of its high beta and clear catalysts. We aren't just looking at random price swings, we are looking at the market reacting to a growing backlog and a shifting geopolitical environment that prioritizes domestic intelligence capabilities. For someone doing online investing through SoFi Active Investing, the play here isn't just about the next 10%, it's about whether this company can become a cornerstone of the AI-driven defense sector over the next 3 to 5 years. The current price action suggests that the floor is finally solidifying after a rough patch in early 2026. Taking a step back, the broader sector momentum is also working in their favor. As we see capital rotate out of overpriced megacaps and into specialized players, companies like BigBear.ai stand to benefit the most. If you're checking your Fidelity mutual funds or Fidelity ETFs, you'll notice that the weighting of mid-cap tech is starting to shift. This is where self-investing really shines. You have the flexibility to spot these trends before the big funds have fully rotated. The tension here is simple. The market expects these smaller AI firms to be crushed by the giants, but the reality is that the giants can't provide the level of specialized, mission-critical integration that BigBear.ai offers. This is why their national security contracts are so sticky. Once you are integrated into the U.S. Army's data infrastructure, you aren't just a vendor, you're a partner.
Looking at the future outlook, the catalysts are stacking up. We have the ongoing integration of their recent acquisitions, the expansion of the Ask Sage platform, and a steady stream of contract renewals. The risk, of course, is always execution and the pace of government spending, but with the 2026 guidance already affirmed, that risk seems moderated. For those using Robinhood Crypto or Robinhood Cash Management, the volatility here might seem intense, but for a seasoned investor using interactive brokers trading, it's just part of the process. The reality of BigBear.ai is that it is a turnaround story that is actually turned. The focus on profitability and positive cash flow is a refreshing change from the growth at all costs mentality that used to dominate the sector. In summary, the expectation that BigBear.ai was just another hype-driven stock is being replaced by the reality of a disciplined, defense-focused leader with a growing backlog and a clear path to sustained revenue. Whether you are using Robinhood investments for fractional shares or managing a complex portfolio through Fidelity Wealth Management, the data points to a company that is finally finding its stride. The live price of $4.28 tells one story, but the $60 million in new contracts and the strategic partnerships tell a much deeper one. This is a company that has moved past the initial growing pains and is now focused on delivering high-margin intelligence solutions where they are needed most. As we move further into 2026, the contrast between the cautious market narrative and the company's actual performance will likely continue to provide opportunities for those who are paying close attention to the fundamentals rather than just the headlines. Always keep an eye on the institutional flow and the contract updates, as these remain the most reliable indicators of where this stock is headed next. The gap between expectation and reality is closing, and for BigBear.ai, that reality is looking increasingly solid. Disclaimer. This video is for educational purposes only, not financial advice. Please do your own research before investing. Market involves risk. Like this video, comment your thoughts, share with your friends, subscribe for more updates.